welcome to NIDM Special Lecture Series DRR Dialogues. I'm Dr. Prerna Joshi, Assistant Professor at the National Institute of Disaster Management. Today, I will introduce you to the topic Nature-Based Solutions for Disaster Risk Reduction. What is a disaster? A disaster is the serious disruption of a community's functioning, causing widespread losses that exceed the ability to cope using local resources. Crucially, disasters occur when a hazard meets vulnerability. Let's break that down. A hazard is a potentially damaging physical event, like a cyclone, flood, drought, or heat wave. Vulnerability refers to how exposed or fragile a community or system is to that hazard. It is based on factors like poverty, deforestation, poor planning, or lack of infrastructure. Exposure is the presence of people, infrastructure, or other assets in a location that is vulnerable to a specific hazard. It is essentially the who and the what that are in harm's way. Capacity is the ability of people, systems, or environment to anticipate, cope with, and recover from a hazard. This includes infrastructure, knowledge, governance, ecosystems, and social network. Therefore, disaster risk is a function of hazard, vulnerability, exposure, and capacity. It means that the same hazard may lead to disaster in one place but not in another, depending on how well prepared or resilient the people and ecosystems are. Come the monsoon season, we all see frequent media reports on floods, flash floods, landslides throughout the country. So why are disaster risks increasing today? Climate change is increasing the intensity and frequency of hazards. Stronger cyclones, more unpredictable rainfall, higher temperatures. At the same time, ecosystem degradation like deforestation, wetland loss, and coral bleaching is reducing our natural resilience and increasing our vulnerability. Traditional grey infrastructures like seawalls and levees try to control hazards, but it often comes at a high financial and environmental cost. It also tends to be rigid and difficult to adapt to a changing climate. In contrast, nature-based solutions offer a sustainable, flexible, and cost-effective approach. By restoring or mimicking ecosystems such as forests, mangroves, wetlands, or coral reefs, nature-based solutions reduce both hazard impact and community vulnerability. They strengthen nature's ability to protect us while also supporting biodiversity and local livelihoods. So what exactly are nature-based solutions? Defined by IUCN, actions to protect, sustainably manage, and restore natural or modified ecosystems that address societal challenges effectively and adaptively. Think of mangroves acting as natural seawalls, wetlands as natural sponges, and forests as stabilizers of hill slopes. These are all nature-based solutions. To see how nature-based solutions help mitigate disaster risk, we can see this from an example here. Let us call the coastal forests or the coastal mangroves as living shorelines. So here I present a case without living shorelines. That means our coast is devoid of any trees, any forest. So whenever a coastal storm, surge, or cyclone hits, it erodes a large chunk of soil mass. So without any forest or trees to protect the coast faces high wave energy, high erosion, and may face high damage. However, with a coastline which is populated by trees or mangroves, let us call them living shorelines. So in a living shoreline, because there are trees to dissipate the wave energy, to dissipate the incoming storm surge, cyclone, or tidal energy, therefore the land faces low wave energy, it faces low erosion, and it has potential to cause low damage. This is how living shorelines or forests or mangroves in a coastline can help reduce disaster risk in the coastal regions. Now let us understand some of the core concepts of nature-based solutions. These solutions are based on ecosystem functions. For example, mangroves reduce storm surges, forests stabilize slopes, and prevent landslides. Nature-based solutions offer multiple benefits ranging from flood protection, biodiversity conservation, to carbon sequestration. Such solutions are adaptable, which evolve with the climate, unlike fixed grey infrastructure. These solutions are pivoted on community involvement. For example, Odisha's post-1999 cyclone mangrove plantations involved self-help groups and village panchayats who took the ownership of the ecosystem. Nature-based solutions are usually cost-effective. Studies in the Gulf of Mexico suggest that every $1 spent on wetland restoration reduces $7 used in flood damage control. Why should we prioritize nature-based solutions? Let us understand with the help of some examples. In India, Bhitarkanika mangroves protected coastal villages in Kendrapada district of Odisha during the 2013 cyclone Feni. It shielded agricultural fields from saltwater intrusion. Studies suggest that post-Hurricane Sandy in 2013, wetlands in USA prevented $625 million in damages. In Sri Lanka, planted grasslines and bioengineering solutions are being increasingly used for mitigating landslide risks. How to integrate nature-based solutions into disaster risk reduction? When we talk about integrating nature-based solutions into DRR, we must look at two key phases, mitigation and preparedness. In the mitigation phase, we can use nature-based solutions to reduce the root cause of the risk. For example, in Sikkim and Meghalaya, forest protection upstream can help control floods downstream. In cities, urban greening projects like Kochi's Kawaki initiative, which planted over 1,200 native trees, not only reduces urban heat island effect in waterlogging, but also created green jobs for women and other vulnerable groups. We also see hybrid infrastructure utilizing ecosystem-based approaches in conjunction with built solutions. In China's pond cities, artificial ponds, green parks, and perforated pavements double as flood retention basins, combining green engineering with natural systems. Policy integration is equally crucial. Various state action plans on climate change in India now mandate nature-based solutions in planning, aligning with the global frameworks like Sendai Framework and the Sustainable Development Goals. In the preparedness phase, nature-based solutions boost community resilience. For example, in Sitlakhet village of Uttarakhand, local women-led forest watch committees manage vegetation to prevent forest fires. Schools in Assam are linking mock drills with tree planting campaigns, connecting awareness with action. So whether it is planning at the watershed level, community forest or hybrid urban infrastructure, nature-based solutions offer practical pathways to build climate resilience. When we talk of integrating nature-based solutions and policy frameworks, we have to integrate such solutions at 5 different levels, starting with global frameworks like Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, the Paris Agreement, the Convention for Biological Diversity, and UN Sustainable Development Goals. At the national level, we have to integrate such nature-based solutions with the National Action Plan on Climate Change, National Disaster Management Policy, and other such frameworks existing for biodiversity and forest conservation. At the state level, these have to be integrated with the State Action Plan on Climate Change, the State Disaster Management Plans, and other such biodiversity or ecosystem-based action plans. Similarly, at the district or city level, such nature-based solutions need to be integrated with the city-level climate action plans or the district disaster management plans or other similar initiatives. Finally, at the community level, such nature-based solutions should inform the formulation of watershed conservation plans or other such similar community-based initiatives. So when we look at this pyramid of integration of nature-based solutions and policy frameworks, we can see that the ownership of such initiatives lies with the community. And the sense of ownership flows from the community to the global level. Whereas the support and guidance for integrating such solutions to community level initiatives flows from global frameworks to national frameworks to state level frameworks to district level frameworks and finally to the community owned projects. Looking ahead, we must understand that nature-based solutions are no longer experimental. These are part of the program now. They offer scalable, inclusive and regenerative solutions to climate-driven disasters. The key is integration into policy, infrastructure and public consciousness. In upcoming lectures in DRR Dialogue, we will explore how specific ecosystem-based approaches like mangroves, wetlands or agroforestry are contributing uniquely to disaster risk reduction. Till then, thank you and goodbye.